What's up, guys? So in today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the front and rear bumpers in the FJ. The reason for this is, after 230,000 miles, definitely starting to show her age. And, the front bumper's got a lot of bug splatters on it that I couldn't seem to remove as many washes as I've tried. There's a lot of missing paint on the trim pieces. And no, I didn't crash into anything, but I bought the FJ used and at about 215,000 miles, and I'm not sure what the previous owner did, but yeah, it's missing paint, like I said, on the trim pieces, and just looking kind of old, and I figured it was time to give it a refresh. And lucky for me, at one of the Midnight Overland meets, I met a guy named Marshall, and he introduced me to his friend Donald. And yeah, Donald had a couple of spare bumpers from his OEM FJ, and he got a steel bumper, built that thing out pretty cool. And so he was like, yeah, just take this stuff out of my garage and it's yours for free. So that was very nice of him, and I'm extremely grateful for that, because at some point I might get a steel bumper, but for now I really do like the look of the FJ from the factory, and I figured, yeah, I'll see what I can do with this and put them on. So I guess I'll stop talking and let's get straight to the video. Let's pop this guy off. Careful not to break these when you're removing them. That. So now I'm guessing I just, yeah, oh shit. Pull straight out. And here we go, it's off. Real quick, I'll show you this fun little mod I did. So I cut some of these pieces of the grill off, and I added a power inlet right over there. So when I'm camping, I can plug into shore power, and I have the back of this right here routed inside the engine bay with an extension cable. It's not pretty, but it works. And what that does is it goes into the cabin and it charges all my batteries, my power stations, and all that. So it was a fun little thing I thought of. And this was like $15 on Amazon, and see, it's watertight and all that. Pretty good gauge wire too. So let's get the rest of this bumper off. There's 2 bolts right here, 1, 2. And then because all of my bolts at the bottom are missing, we're not gonna have to remove that, but there's 8 of them at the bottom, and I'm gonna put some new ones on, so I will have those. 10 millimeter. Since we've removed all the bolts and I have no bolts in the bottom, we're gonna remove these clips next. These are pretty beat up. Oh god. So as it turns out, these guys also need to be loosened. Yep. Now need some new clips, I guess. Damn. All right. Yeah, nice. Right, so the next thing that we're going to work on is I'm going to replace these bumper wings on the back. They're pretty scuffed up. Seriously, whoever drove this thing before me was a idiot. I don't know how you drive into that much stuff. Next up, you gotta remove these bolts at the bottom, 10 millimeter. These ice scrapers work really well as bumper removal tools if you ever need one.
Necessarily have to have them because sometimes these clip pushing them backwards and you have to push this center tab down so it'll have to bring them back. This tab right here, so you just gotta grab this thing and pull them off, and that's it.
Well, that was a lot more in depth than I thought it was going to be, but we still got it done before sunset, so I'd call that a success. Yeah, I'm out of breath and my hands hurt. But so next up, I'm gonna go take this thing for a car wash and see how everything looks. So yeah, stay tuned. Well, that was a nice little evening car wash. So let's take a look, see how this all turned out. Not bad at all.